Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, medical workers go on strike in Machias to demand better working conditions.
Plus, a rally at the State House where people were calling for changes to end child abuse.
And Maine is deciding where to spend millions of dollars to help beef up the state's broadband system.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories along with a lot more coming up this morning. But first, a check of the forecast. Starting off not on a bad note today. Looks like we'll see some more increasing clouds as the day rolls along, but we'll see some sunshine too, and it should be nice and mild out there, kind of like yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Like you said, increasing clouds. So if you want to get a walk in today, maybe if you can, in the morning would be a little nicer.
Yeah, tomorrow, a little bit more rainy.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Here's Devin Biggs with the full forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Need the proper fit for your new spring and summer footwear? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. Alrighty, this morning we had a little bit of rain that passed through overnight, and now we're looking pretty quiet now as you're watching the rain track off in the northwest and going to the south and east. The rest of today will feature a mixture of clouds and the sun, so if you're looking for reasons to get outside, you should have plenty of it today. Just a mixture of clouds and sunshine. The overall idea, just make sure to keep the sunglasses handy just in case you might need it. But meanwhile, though, there's rain near parts of the Boston area, maybe a little bit by New York as well, but a lot of this is moving away, and we're going to be drying out at least for a little bit before more rain chances enter the picture. So our partly to mostly cloudy sky expected today, partly cloudy later on tonight, more clouds on the way for tomorrow, and eventually some more rain showers on the way for your Thursday as well. Now, the wind's not a huge deal, roughly a quick breeze at around 5 miles per hour or so. The winds will remain rather quiet later on tonight, and also in the parts of tomorrow. So finally, the wind's looking pretty quiet in our neck of the woods. For today, lower 60s, partly to mostly cloudy in a few spots, and that east wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, we have upper 30s under a partly cloudy sky and a south breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, here we go, lower 50s, mostly cloudy, rain showers on the way, south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing increasing clouds at times, and otherwise less clouds in a few areas too. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Healthcare workers at Down East Community Hospital in Machias will be walking the picket line once again this morning. It will be the second day of a 2-day strike by nurses and technicians to protest what they say is the administration's refusal to address their concerns about recruitment and retention. They're also concerned about safe staffing levels. A statement from the hospital spokesperson, though, says there are no outstanding negotiation proposals from the union that involve safe staffing, safe working conditions, or patient safety. The nurses and technicians have been negotiating a contract since September of 2023, and they have been working without a contract since October.
We're here for our patients, we're here for our community, and we're fighting for our community. And we want our hospital to focus more on patient-centered care than profit generating.
We're really lacking in support staff. You know, if our nurses and techs are having to do jobs of secretaries and CNAs because there aren't any of those, then, you know, it takes away from our patient care.
From Julie Hickson, the Director of Marketing and Communications for Down East Community Hospital, says, quote, "The union chose to strike over wage negotiations. Over the past 4 years, the DECH union members have received unprecedented increases of 40% or more in their wages. We are extremely competitive on our current wages, and to put significantly more money into the union compensation would not be financially sustainable for the hospital. As always, we will continue to negotiate with the union to finalize an agreement." The hospital says contingency plans are in place to address the strike, and they will continue to provide safe, quality health care to the public.
In other news, the investigation into a fatal shooting in Bangor continues. Divers have been in the Kenduskeag stream looking for evidence in connection with the shooting on Highland Avenue that happened on April 2nd. 24-year-old Daniel Ford Coates of Bangor was pronounced dead at a local hospital after being found with a gunshot wound to the head shortly after 4 a.m. 20-year-old Olivia Babin has been charged with manslaughter. According to court documents, authorities were told Babin threw the gun into the Kenduskeag stream following the shooting.
One of the men accused of robbing a pair of businesses in central Maine has now received his sentence. 24-year-old Isaac Sterling has been ordered to serve 6 years in the state prison. Officials say he was the getaway driver back in November when he and 24-year-old Trevor Miller held up a Circle K convenience store in Fairfield and also a bank in Waterville. According to the Morning Sentinel, Sterling was also arrested a few months later when he also allegedly stole money from his girlfriend to buy drugs.
A former China resident convicted of multiple sex crimes against a child under the age of 14 is challenging that conviction. Jared Jandro was found guilty of 5 counts of unlawful sexual contact, 1 count of sexual solicitation for gross sexual assault, and 17 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. During testimony at his trial, Jandro's ex-girlfriend, Jessica Cox, admitted she is the woman who took the photos of the child and sent them to Jandro. Prosecutors said text messages were evidence Jandro persuaded Cox to send him sexually explicit photos. Part of Jandro's challenge centers around the scope of the warrant that allowed police to obtain the messages and photos.
No one disputes that when you have an alleged GSA between a defendant and a victim, each party wants every communication between those two. It'd be insane to ask otherwise.
No decision was made yesterday, and it's unclear at this time when one will be made.
Well, advocates calling for changes to Maine's child welfare system rallied at the State House yesterday to spread their message on the last day of April, which is Child Abuse Awareness Month. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard spoke with those in attendance to learn more.
We often say how terrible events are the catalyst for change. How much more terrible does it have to get?
Walk a Mile in Their Shoes is an organization formed by former State Senator Bill Diamond with the mission of ending the deaths of children in state care. He says despite the increase in awareness, the problem is continuing to get worse.
In 2021, we had 34 children in state care that died, and that was a record number. And not to be more depressing, but in the last 2 years, 54 children have died.
One of the speakers at the rally was Mary Ann Spearin, a superintendent for 2 school districts, who says oftentimes the voices of educators who are legally required to report suspected cases of abuse and neglect goes unanswered.
We make reports to the state hotline. From there, we trust that it goes somewhere else and that somebody else is then following up with the kids and the family. And having been in the school systems, I know that it went days sometimes without that happening.
One of the other topics touched upon at the rally is the need for more to be done to increase transparency and regulation for DHHS. This past legislative session, lawmakers had the opportunity to separate the Office of Child and Family Services from DHHS. That bill passed in the Senate but was killed in the House.
I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to continue the discussion because, as you know, it passed in the Senate. And so I think the House, we could have some good discussion about it.
DHHS has said they will be taking into consideration suggestions by Walk a Mile in Their Shoes and other groups for how to improve the safety of Maine's children. Diamond says he'll be paying close attention.
What we're going to do from this point forward is we're going to hold accountable the changes that we're hearing may be made.
At the State House, I'm Corey Bichard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
There's been another major bust of an alleged illegal marijuana grow in our area. The Somerset County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant in Madison, where they say they found a truckload of marijuana plants and processed cannabis. This bust was led by the Somerset County Sheriff's Office, with assistance from the Federal Drug Enforcement Agency, Homeland Security, and other agencies. Over 1,800 marijuana plants and 10 pounds of processed cannabis were seized in the operation, as well as other assorted drug-related documentation and paraphernalia. Although no individuals were located at the residence, charges are expected against the individuals responsible for the alleged illegal operation, once the case is reviewed by the Somerset County District Attorney's Office. An additional detail: out of 14 similar illegal marijuana grow operations that the Somerset County Sheriff's Office has interrupted, they say this residence had the worst case of black mold infestation in the interior of the buildings.
Well, the Bangor Standpipe is a favorite landmark for a lot of people here in the Bangor area, but they'll have to wait if they want to take in the amazing views from atop the Standpipe. The Bangor Water District has announced it will remain closed to the public for tours this year. According to the Bangor Daily, some needed repairs were recently revealed during an inspection. Officials say the standpipe will remain operational during the work, but the building will be closed while those repairs and maintenance are carried out. It's normally open for tours so that people can take in the views during the various seasons. And from what I understand, they were working with the insurance company. Of course, they need insurance on the building, and as part of being granted insurance, they have an inspection from time to time, and they found some problems. They didn't really release what those problems were, but there's 100 steps to the top, and they want to make sure everybody makes it up and makes it down safely. So
understandable.
I mean,
it's a bit of a bummer for folks who want to go check it out, but it's a historical landmark, and it's old, and it's going to need to be updated from time to time.
And we want to keep on doing it through the years. So.
Absolutely. Maintenance required. Time now is 8:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, the state is considering where to spend millions of dollars to improve broadband service across Maine. But before any decisions are made, they want to hear input from those areas that need a boost.
We'll have the story coming up, but first another check of your weather forecast. A partly cloudy day ahead today, the high temperature right around 61 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, lows dropping down to the upper 30s. Tomorrow we can expect a little rain. The highs tomorrow around 53. We'll be back right after this.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money, and I'll fight to get it for you. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Another client had a brain injury, and we got them $1.15 million. If you get hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the twos. We win for you.
Spring is here, and so are the savings at the Furniture Gallery. Relax with a reclining sofa and recliner for only $9.98. Opening up camp, queen mattresses starting at $188, and sleeper sofas starting at $598. Power lift recliners also starting at $598, or save $100 on medical grade lift recliners. All Flex Steel now 10% off, and all Von Bassett bedroom sets 20% off. It's easy to buy at the Furniture Gallery with 18-month 0% interest financing. The Furniture Gallery.
From the land to the sea, Chase's Family Restaurant is the place to be.
Are you looking for a place to unwind after a long day?
Then come check out our Hideaway Lounge.
With a bar that's both upbeat and laid back. And it's the perfect atmosphere for anyone who wants to unwind after work.
Or kick it up for the weekends with daily drink specials and a full dinner menu.
You can fill up on a good time any night of the week.
Thank you for being a part of our family.
Here at Chase's Family Restaurant.
She's the apple of his eye.
Ta-da! What do you think?
You look beautiful. And you're grounded.
She may be a tomboy.
You're so lucky you get to be in junior G.I. Joes. And you're lucky I don't want to get blood on my uniform.
But she's still Daddy's little girl.
Sit down, I want to talk to you for a minute.
This isn't a sex talk, is it? Because I already know more than I'd like to.
Learn all about Eve.
Am I supposed to understand what you mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
On Last Man Standing.
Weekdays at 3 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. On Monday, Governor Mills issued her final decision on 2 gun control bills passed by the legislature. The governor allowed one of those bills, a 72-hour waiting period for all firearm purchases, to go into law without her signature. This bill will affect all purchases made at licensed gun shops. The governor also vetoed a bill that would have banned bump stock-like devices, citing the bill's, quote, ambiguous language and the fact that a federal ban on bump stocks already exists. Gun control advocates say they're thankful for the laws that did pass this session, but disappointed at the veto.
What a momentous day this is for Maine, that we are now going to have expanded background checks and 72-hour waiting periods is an enormous shift and a really big step in the direction of gun safety. We have further to go, as is evident in the fact that she vetoed the bump stock ban.
Because the waiting period bill was not passed under emergency legislation, it won't take effect until 90 days after the legislature adjourns. The legislature will return to take up vetoed bills within the coming weeks.
Secretary of State Shenna Bellows is asking for the public to weigh in on the wording of a referendum question that will appear on November's ballot. The question centers around limiting the amount of money that can be donated to independent political action committees. Those groups are not associated with any candidate, but they use their money to support a candidate or cause. Currently, the question is worded, quote, do you want to set a $5,000 limit for giving to groups that spend money independently to support or defeat candidates for office? Secretary Bellows says asking for the public input can help ensure the questions make sense to the average voter.
And as secretary, my job is to draft the question, but this is the people's question and will be the people's vote. Therefore, it's really important that members of the public have an opportunity to weigh in on the content of the question. We've posted a draft question, and now people have 30 days to share their point of view, not on whether the question is a yes vote or a no vote, but is the question clear? Is it concise and direct as possible?
To submit your comment or to learn more, you can visit the Secretary of State's website.
Recently, Maine was awarded $272 million in federal funding to help expand broadband in the state. And now you could help determine where that money goes. Our Augusta reporter, Corey Bichard, explains.
The statewide challenge process is the next step in our BEAD journey. That's the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program.
Brian Allenby is the communications director for the Maine Connectivity Authority. He says the state was awarded over $270 million in federal funding to help expand broadband access in the state. They've started a state-led challenge process for municipalities, tribal nations, and nonprofits to participate in and share their data with MCA.
There are a number of different types of challenges, everything from whether the service that's reported to be available at a location actually is available, whether the speeds reported at that location are actually delivered.
Of course, if you're not a municipality, tribal nation, or nonprofit, you can still participate in the process by doing an individual speed test.
What's unique here is it's a little bit different than some of the speed tests you've seen in the state of Maine in the past. We need 3 separate speed test samples from that same location over 3 different days. The system is set up once you register your speed test the first time, you take your first test, it'll send you a reminder email each successive day. So you just have to go back and take 3 of those tests.
The reason why the challenge process is so important, Allenby says, is because they're working from older data from the FCC, which may be outdated or inaccurate.
It's really important that those organizations as eligible challengers and individuals can take part in the state-led challenge process to help us understand where the data in that FCC map isn't accurate.
Maine Connectivity Authority will take the results of these challenges and determine how the funding gets distributed based on the needs of the community. To learn more about the state-led challenge process, you can visit our website. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bichard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
And of course, our website is foxbangor.com. And the time now is 8:18. After the break, safety was top of mind yesterday at Fort Knox and the observatory. We'll take a look at how professionals utilized the space for practice drills.
That story and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Welcome to 207 Wellness, where transformation begins from within. Embark on a journey of self-betterment with our comprehensive services from weight management to IV hydration, vitamin supplementation, and neurotoxin injections. 207 Wellness is here to support your wellness goals. Take the first step toward a healthier, happier you, rejuvenate your body, refresh your mind, and reclaim your vitality with 207 Wellness. Transform your wellness, transform your life. Give us a call today.
There are plenty of good reasons to have a dock at your camper lakefront home.
and to choose a ShoreMaster premium dock system or floating poly dock system from Hammond Lumber Company. Lightweight and durable, ShoreMaster high-grade aluminum docks are easy to install and maintain, and poly docks are perfect for dealing with deep or fluctuating water levels. Both offer a wide range of available configurations. There's a ShoreMaster or poly dock system that's right for you, and you'll find it at Hammond Lumber Company.
A year after a heart attack, Mike's feeling like himself again. But even though time has passed, his risk of a second attack hasn't. Mike is still living in the red, with a very high risk of another heart attack or stroke. He doesn't know with his risk factors, his LDL-C, bad cholesterol, is still too high. The recommended level is below 55. Are you living in the red? Get in the know. Learn how to get a free LDL-C test at attackheartdisease.com.
Welcome back, everyone. In preparation for the opening of the Penobscot Narrows Bridge Observatory in Prospect, employees spent the beginning of this week practicing ways to evacuate the structure in the event of an emergency.
Our Jody Hersey followed along during their training.
We're beginning our descent.
The Penobscot Narrows Bridge Observatory attracts thousands of visitors each year. Guests who ride the elevator to the top to see views like this. The bridge, which is owned and maintained by the Maine Department of Transportation, is operated by the Friends of Fort Knox employees. Those employees spent Monday and Tuesday training on how to evacuate the building in the event of an emergency or if the elevator itself experiences a malfunction.
The elevator's not the only situation. We might have a heart attack. Well, there's an AED at the top. We might have a cardiac arrest. All of those things are part of the training that we do, the first aid and CPR and the AED, just so we're ready.
Michael Locke has been employed with the Friends of Fort Knox since 2013, and he's held just about every position.
Just like in the fire department, you know, you practice and you hope you never have to use it, but when you do, it becomes more an instinct than, oh gosh, what do I do next?
On Tuesday, the employees went down flight after flight of stairs, experiencing firsthand what it would feel and sound like if they had to evacuate guests. Practicing these emergency exit drills, Martin says, is all part of getting the Penobscot Bridge Observatory ready for opening day.
Probably 3 years ago was the last time that we did a stairwell exit.
Kathy Hartigan says trainings like this help ensure that everyone knows what to do.
If you're in a situation where you do need to evacuate a beautiful building like this, things are in place to make it easier and safer for everybody involved.
In Prospect, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And both the Penobscot Narrows Bridge Observatory and Fort Knox itself will open for the season today.
Wow.
Yeah, sign of the changing seasons.
Yeah, I know. It's finally warm enough to be able to go out there and enjoy it because it's so windy right there on that point.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, the time now is 8:23.
Let's get a full look at that weather forecast.
All righty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Need the proper fit for your new spring and summer footwear? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. Already, wave heights are low this morning. We have no advisories in effect offshore or onshore for that matter as well, so we're looking pretty good out there moving forward this morning. We did have some rain showers recently, and now we're starting to look a little quiet as all this is moving out of here. We'll be under a partly to mostly cloudy sky today, so keep the sunglasses handy, but otherwise looking like a quiet day nonetheless. But either way, though, as we do zoom things out and give you the bigger picture, overall not too bad. We're getting this wave of energy out of here. There's a little bit more activity across parts of the Midwest. We'll have our turn for more rain showers that will be on the way as we head towards later on tomorrow, and it'll be just rain showers. I'm not too worried about any thunderstorms at all. So a partly to mostly cloudy sky across the region for us today. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky coming up later on tonight. For tomorrow, clouds move in again, along with chances for rain showers that will begin at around 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning. It'll last for pretty much the entire day on and off. We'll have to wait until Thursday night for these rain showers to clear out of here, and then we're looking pretty good as we head towards your Friday to some clouds that'll be sticking around. Otherwise, though, let's talk about some rainfall totals. We could be seeing some spots this year around 4 to maybe 5/10 of an inch of rain before we're all finished up. Locally higher amounts cannot be ruled out either, but pretty much draw a line from Bangor and west. We'll have the better opportunities for rain, lower chances farther off towards the east. Our average high temperature is 61 degrees this time of the year. We'll do lower 60s 60s today, so about average for this time of the year. Lower 50s Thursday, lower 60s again Friday. And as we head towards your Saturday, upper 50s Sunday. And then look at this, upper 60s as we head towards Monday to Tuesday. So warmer weather definitely on the way. So otherwise, though, let's be careful with allergies. If you're having issues with allergies, this is the reason why. Tree pollen remains high and it looks to stay high for the foreseeable future. So definitely make sure to keep that in mind with your allergy medications. And grass pollen will soon be on the rise before you know it as well. So for today, we have lower 60s under a partly cloudy sky and at east wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. At times, we may become mostly cloudy as well. By tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy, south wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, here we go. Lower 50s, mostly cloudy, rain showers on the way. South wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. All right, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Mostly cloudy on Friday, highest in the low 60s. Lower 60s again for your Saturday, under a mostly cloudy sky as well. More rain showers on Sunday, highs in the upper 50s.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
With Cascade Platinum Plus, I have upped my dish game.
Oh, and see, in that dishwasher.
Watch me.
Platinum Plus gives you the highest standard of clean, even in your machine.
Clean enough for you?
Yeah. Scrape, load, done. Cascade Platinum Plus.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
There's no better season than truck season at Quirk Chevrolet in Bangor. Lease 24 Chevy Silverado LT All-Star Edition for $489 per month, or save $3235 on 24 Chevy Equinox LS and buy for $27,495. In the market for a pre-owned vehicle, Quirk Motor City has the next certified car, truck, or SUV you're looking for, with over 400 quality used vehicles to choose from. Together, let's drive at Quirk Chevy in Bangor, Portland, and Rockland.
Football League, Sunday starting at 1 Eastern on Fox.
Dozens of arrests overnight after hundreds of police descended on Columbia University. Officers making their way into a barricaded campus building that protesters were occupying for hours. Officials asking police for help in removing the demonstrators, who were calling on an end to the Israel-Hamas war and for their school to cut financial ties with companies supporting Israel. Fox News' Ten Linder is in the Big Apple with the latest.
Hundreds of New York City police officers in riot gear swarming the campus of Columbia University Tuesday night, arresting protesters calling for an end to the Israel-Hamas war.
That's crazy. It's just crazy.
Those taken into custody had previously broken into and were occupying a building called Hamilton Hall. A large police vehicle, armed with a ladder, made its way through the crowds. Officers with zip ties were then able to enter Hamilton Hall through a second-story window. Columbia's president writing to the NYPD, quote, "We believe that while the group who broke into the building includes students, it is led by individuals who are not affiliated with the university. The individuals who have occupied Hamilton Hall have vandalized university property and are trespassing. But demonstrators calling for the university to divest from companies supporting Israel say any damage is nothing compared to the more than 34,000 Palestinians who've been killed by Israeli airstrikes in Gaza."
What Israel's doing and what the United States is doing is so much more than just worth broken glass. We'll always be able to repair that glass.
The escalating protests come after Columbia students had set up encampments on the university lawn.
This must end now.
Columbia's president is asking the NYPD to keep a presence on campus now through at least May 17th to make sure more encampments don't pop up. In New York, I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his troops will invade Rafah with or without a hostage deal. As he says, the city is the last major stronghold for Hamas in southern Gaza and where around 1 million Palestinians are sheltering, most of whom fled other parts of Gaza. The warning comes as Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in the region pushing for a ceasefire. The U.S. has repeatedly said it opposes the Rafah operation until Israel presents a credible plan for evacuating and protecting the estimated 1.5 million people still seeking shelter there. Netanyahu has faced pressure from his government to not proceed with a deal that might prevent that invasion.
Former President Trump is shining new light on what his potential second term might look like. His new comments on immigration are now stirring debate. This morning, new insight into a potential second Trump term, speaking to Time magazine. The former president outlined his plans to deport millions of migrants illegally in the U.S., saying this is country-changing, it's country-threatening, and it's country-wrecking. They have wrecked our country. Adding that he would use the National Guard and local law enforcement to carry out the deportations, and if they weren't able to do it, then he would use the military. When asked about a law prohibiting the use of military force on civilians, Trump replied, well, these aren't civilians. These aren't people that are illegally in our country. Trump was also asked about the potential for violence after November's election. He said it depends on the fairness of the election.
All right, the first scientist to publish a sequence of the COVID-19 virus in China has now been locked out of his lab. Zhang Yongshen said he was blocked from entering his lab this weekend. He sat outside in the rain in protest and slept outside of the facility. News of his demonstration spread on social media in China, where the scientist said in a now deleted post, "I won't leave, I won't quit, I am pursuing science and the truth." Beijing has been putting pressure on scientists conducting coronavirus research. Zhang published a COVID-19 sequence back in 2020 without state approval, and he ended up facing demotions and setbacks ever since that time. In an online statement, the Shanghai Public Health Clinical Center said his lab was actually being renovated for safety reasons, and he was given a different lab to work in. But Zhang wrote his team wasn't offered an alternative lab until after being notified about the eviction, and the new lab did not meet safety standards. So it sounds like some funny business going on there. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Coming up on Good Morning Maine, a Millbridge business is expanding in order to offer doggy daycare services.
We'll tell you all about it as Good Morning Maine continues.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
When you see what it's really like when our skin touches wool, you see why we need Downy Free and Gentle with no perfumes or dyes. It not only makes your clothes softer and is gentle on your skin, it breathes life into your laundry.
I have a new show at Pops. It is called Quiz with Balls. Families could win lots of cash, and they could make a splash.
The Quiz with Balls series premiere Tuesday, May 28th on Fox.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is May 1st, 2024, and today is also May Day.
May Day is a European festival that commemorates multiple things. Currently, it marks the historic struggles made by workers and the labor movement. It's their version of Labor Day. And even before that, it was associated with the beginning of summer, marking about the halfway point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. But this holiday is, of course, influenced labor movements here in the United States, as well as we will see in some history facts from today.
We used to do some other fun things around here too. We used to exchange May Day baskets as kids. And I saw some photos in the, there's a Facebook group, you grew up in Bangor when.
Right.
And they have some photos this morning of people with this giant maypole, and they were all dancing around the maypole. I think it was down at the old Bangor Auditorium.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's a cool tradition.
Yeah, I don't know if people still do that kind of thing or
I
not.
don't think so as much.
Yeah. So, as you were saying, a lot of it's based in labor movements, though. On this day in history, back in 1886, a general strike began, advocating for an 8-hour work day. Before that, a lot of people had to work a lot longer, I guess.
A lot.
And every day of the week.
Right.
40 years later, in 1926, Ford factory workers were the first in the U.S. to get a guaranteed 5-day, 40-hour work week. And that was made possible by the Fair Labor Standards Act.
No, I wrote that wrong. I'm sorry. It made it possible for the Fair Labor Standards Act. So Ford was actually, Ford's big in history because they did that before even the government required them to.
Groundbreaking. They were the first dealing with those huge factories with all those workers. And yeah, I think they were the first to do like the whole modern conveyor belt system with the car. I mean, they were first in a lot of things.
Ford factory had a lot to do with capitalist innovation. So they were like, if we can get people to work for this amount of time, they'll be better when they're there.
Yeah, makes sense. That's why we do it. We learn a little bit every day.
Right, but I just find it interesting too, before we move on, that it took 40 years for picketers to be, and people who were striking, for anything to actually be changed as far as the government went.
Yeah, progress is slow, especially when it comes to the government.
Right.
All right, in 1929, police killed 19 May Day demonstrators in Berlin, Germany. And in 1931, the Empire State Building opened up in New York City. It was the world's tallest building until the World Trade Center came around in 1970. Of course, that's not the tallest building anymore.
Right.
The tallest one in New York now is One World Trade Center, the replacement for the World Trade Center. So
okay, gotcha.
That's kind of overtaken the Empire State Building too.
Yeah, and that's like pretty far down on the list as far as tallest buildings in the world. The one right now is in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yep. In 1939, Batman made his first appearance in Detective Comics number 27. In 1941, the film Citizen Kane was released, iconic film right there. In 1963, Gloria Steinem released her expose called A Bunny's Tale on the working conditions for waitresses, also called bunnies, at New York City's famed Playboy Club, published in Show magazine. And in 1969, children's educational television host Fred Rogers testified before the United States Senate Subcommittee on Communications to secure funding for the creation of PBS.
Fred Rogers, of course, better known as Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
All right. For birthdays today, we have James Murray, also known as Murr, for his work on the show Impractical Jokers. He is 48 years old today. Filmmaker Wes Anderson is 55 today. And country music star Tim McGraw is 57 years old today. So we wish them a very happy birthday.
A lot of talented guys. Wes Anderson makes those types of films that sometimes make me feel kind of dumb because they're quite intellectual. And are you okay with that mouse over there?
Yeah, I was looking back. Tim McGraw is 57, my age, and he's in a heck of a lot better condition than I am. That's all I was saying. Look at the pipes on that dude. So
you don't know if that's an old photo, though.
Yeah. No, he's in wicked good shape. That's all he does.
Also, he has a lot of, when you have a lot of money to be able to help.
He has like a personal trainer and like a mobile gym that he brings with him on tour, and he does all this.
If you had enough money for a personal trainer,
I would not spend it on that. I would buy something else.
Yeah, so okay.
But good for him.
Yeah.
We do that. We gauge ourselves against.
You're comparing yourself with Tim McGraw.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I do the same thing.
He's married to Faith Hill.
I know. Who's also really cool.
Yeah, I like
her
a lot
music
too.
a lot too.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the weather now. The weather is going to be partly cloudy today.
Yep.
A little rain tomorrow.
Yep. Here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Need the proper fit for your new spring and summer footwear? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. Alrighty, this morning we had a little bit of rain that passed through overnight, and now we're looking pretty quiet now as you're watching the rain track off in the northwest and going to the south and east. The rest of today will feature a mixture of clouds and the sun, so if you're looking for reasons to get outside, you should have plenty of it today. Just a mixture of clouds and sunshine. The overall idea, just make sure to keep the sun sunglasses handy just in case you might need it. But meanwhile, though, there's rain near parts of the Boston area, maybe a little bit by New York as well, but a lot of this is moving away, and we're going to be drying out at least for a little bit before more rain chances enter the picture. So our partly to mostly cloudy sky expected today, partly cloudy later on tonight, more clouds on the way for tomorrow, and eventually some more rain showers on the way for your Thursday as well. Now, the wind's not a huge deal, roughly a quick breeze at around 5 miles per hour or so. The winds will remain rather quiet later on tonight and also in the parts of tomorrow. So finally, the winds looking pretty quiet in our neck of the woods. For today, lower 60s, partly to mostly cloudy in a few spots, and that east wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, we have upper 30s under a partly cloudy sky and a south breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, here we go, lower 50s, mostly cloudy, rain showers on the way. South wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing increasing clouds at times and otherwise less clouds in a few areas too. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. A woman from Millbridge is expanding her pet care business. Lindsay Wicklin is now offering a doggy day adventure, or is offering doggy day adventures to her list of many services.
Wicklin says these afternoon adventures could include a hike, a leisurely walk, or just a day at the dog park. Our Jody Hersey tags along.
Come on, boys. Lindsay Wicklin is a University of Maine graduate who started Pet Care by Lindsay in 2020. Her business includes grooming, pet sitting, dog walking, and now doggy day adventures.
I really wanted to give people sort of an alternative to fill in the gap, I guess, especially with the weather getting nicer, people wanting their dogs to get out more and socialize with other dogs and get some exercise. I thought that like a 2-hour thing during the week would be fun for them to do.
Wicklin has every client fill out a form with information about their pet, including breed, size, temperament, and whether or not their dog is up to date on its shots, and if that pet has ever been exposed to doggy daycare. She then uses that information to determine which dogs would socialize well together during a daytime adventure. Wicklin says outings could include a hike through the Bangor City Forest or a few hours spent in the afternoon at the Bangor Dog Park.
And then I love to do a small dog group as well as a like elderly / disabled / special needs, which will be sort of like a shorter thing so that they can stop when they need to.
With Pet Care by Lindsay employees located in Bangor, Waterville, and the Mid-Coast, Wicklin says her goal is to have adventures offered in all those service areas 7 days a week. In Milford, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Cute little happy doggies there, too.
I know, the happy dogs are a testament to good company.
Yeah.
Good for her. All right, still to come here on the morning show, Tyler Cruz will have our sports updates.
Don't go away.
People ask me all the time, does Lowry & Associates really get all of those clients, all of those big settlements? Yes, we do. And you know what else is true? I really am standing on top of this big truck.
Are you experiencing foot pain? Comfort Shoes and More has a team of experts trained in pet orthotics to help you find relief. They offer tailored fittings, shoe modifications, customized orthotics, and much more for the ordinary or for the hard-to-fit foot, with fashionable and functional footwear from today's top brands: Hoka, Brooks, Keen, Teva, Taos, Ufus, and Birkenstocks. From running to walking, casual or dress, they have it all. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
For taking on New England's extreme conditions, Toyota has more hybrid all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models than any other brand. No wonder Toyota has sold 5 times more hybrids than its nearest competitor, like the quick and powerful RAV4 hybrid with up to a 566-mile total driving range. Take on extreme conditions with Toyota's proven hybrid technology. See your New England Toyota dealer, your hybrid all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Who has the best kept secret in Penobscot County?
We do!
Welcome to Maple Lane Farms, a 5th-generation family farm that's committed to providing you with the best quality products. Our farm-raised local and sustainable meat is flash frozen to lock in the freshness and natural flavors. Experience the top-notch quality of our meat that's naturally raised without any antibiotics or hormones. Get the best of both worlds, quality and affordability. Try Maple Lane Farms today, the candy store for the carnivore.
Pictionary. Play along from home.
Paddle of nunchucks.
Nunchucks is correct! With a chance to win.
This is unfair. No one knew that Colton was prolific in nunchucks.
5 days a week.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
We turned it up to 11.
It's nonstop Masked Mania. All new Masked Singer tonight on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start off the top with some hockey. Bruins up 3-1 over Toronto in the first round, looking to put it away at home. To the Garden we go. Brad Marchand and the Bees looking to put the Maple Leafs away for good. Down 1-0 in the first. Puck goes behind the net. Toronto trying to clear, but it goes right to Trent Frederick. He puts it on net and ties the score. Ones across the board. To the third period now, still the same score. Toronto with a 2-on-1. Max Domi taking his time. Shoots it over to Tyler Bertuzzi, but Swayman stonewalls him. Keeps it tied. To overtime we go. Bees with an awesome chance a few minutes in. Puck gets centered to Charlie Coyle, but Joseph Wall is a wall. Makes the save. We have to look at that again. That is a great save right there to keep the game tied. And then John Tavares finds Matthew Nyes. He beats Swayman in overtime. Bruins are heading back to Toronto for Game 6. 2-1 is the final. Moving on now up to Orono, where there are some newly minted national champions. Over the weekend, the UMaine rugby team winning their first ever national title. The Black Bears defeating Georgetown 19-15 down in Washington, D.C. to take home the men's Division II club championship. Maine was down 2 scores in the final period, picking up the win with this sudden death try by senior Brett Benham. Few members of the team on Tuesday said it was an amazing experience for everyone in the club.
It's such an incredible feeling to score that, but at the end of the day, none of it would be possible without the hard work of my teammates. We've been working for it all year, and to see it come to fruition like this is incredible.
I laid down and started crying. You know, seeing everyone put in a lot of work, making a lot of sacrifices. Everyone who's doing this isn't doing this because they're getting free college out of it. They're all doing it because they're having a good time. Coming away with this kind of reward is awesome.
The Black Bears are hoping to reap the benefits of this reward and the buzz surrounding the big win. The program has been steadily building year after year. This isn't their first trip to nationals recently, and the win is a chance to bring more people's attention to the club and to the sport itself.
As a non-varsity program, you know, not a lot of people know about us. We're definitely hoping going forward, a big accomplishment like this is going to bring in a lot of eyes and, you know, get a lot of people excited about the sport. And, you know, as someone who's played rugby since 7th grade, it's really cool seeing the sport grow, and this is a really cool opportunity to kind of bring this sport that we love to the people of UMaine.
All right, let's go to baseball now. Heading over to Hamden to catch up with the leaders of Class A North. The Broncos are off to a hot start. They're looking to end a decade-long drought. Our sports intern, Connor Adams, has the story.
The goal is the whole thing.
Hamden Academy Baseball is off to one of their best starts in years at 5-0.
The boys are playing well together as a team, and yeah, we're really enjoying it.
One of the biggest factors so far of Hamden's early success has been in the batter's box. They're averaging 9 runs a game, and it's never the same guy every night.
We're deep. We have a bunch of guys. We have at least 2 guys at every position who can play it, and who can be almost a starter at anywhere else other school you look at.
We've had a hard time hitting in the past couple of years, and I think this year our hitting just come together.
The hitting may be off to a hot start for the Broncos, but the defense has not been up to the expectations. Picking each other up and having each other's back is the key to limiting mistakes.
We face a lot of good hitting teams that we got to be able to play good defense, and you can't give them anything.
Even if you boot a ball, just don't get down on yourself, keep going. Every play is different, so you got to be ready.
This year, the Broncos are looking for more than just finishing the season strong by advancing to the Northern Maine semifinals for the first time since 2013. They're taking past experiences into this season to try and get over the hump.
I think it just comes down to the really experience of the team. We're all very experienced ball players.
There's not a lot of surprises anymore, and I think the biggest thing is I'm really comfortable. I don't really get nervous anymore.
And the Broncos love the support from the community and hold themselves to a higher standard when they're in attendance.
There's more people here, more people know about us. It feels more like a real team community. All these kids from our school coming over and showing support, it really makes us feel like we want to win for them.
In Hamden, Connor Adams, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Let's stay on the diamond now. Thanks for that, Connor. Been a pleasure working with Connor this past semester. We'll try to show you more of him in the next 2 weeks. Let's stay on the diamond, though. Maine baseball winning 2 of 3 over Binghamton this past weekend. They snapped an 8-game skid. It was a big weekend for junior first baseman Jeremiah Jenkins. He was named the America East Player of the Week. He hit 3 home runs and drove in 4 RBI over the weekend. And with 2 midweek games, he had a 5-home run week, batted .579 over that 5-game stretch. Currently 12th in the nation with 19 home runs. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Do you have a wet basement, nasty crawl space, settling foundation, sinking concrete, or clogged gutters? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basement-y. For over 30 years, thousands of homeowners throughout Maine and southeastern New Hampshire have trusted TC Hafford. Basement waterproofing, crawl space repair, stabilizing foundations, concrete leveling, and gutter installation. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems for all things basement-y.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will become the undisputed leader of a ginormous pack of dogs. Rescue dogs, to be exact. A second act made possible by the career reskilling courses Lisa's already taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does, so she can finally run with the big dogs and the small dogs who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Febreze. Hi, I use Febreze Fade Defy Plug.
And I use this.
Febreze has a microchip to control scent release, so it smells first day fresh for 50 days.
50 days?
And its refill reminder light means I'll never miss a day of freshness. Febreze Plug.
It's the marvelous Mima.
You tell lies, you gamble, and yet you never seem to pay a price for any of it.
When you're cute like me, rules are just a little different. Young Sheldon.
Weekdays at 4 on Fox 22.
Husson University celebrated the diverse art of its students yesterday with their annual Spring Art Walk. The Art Walk is a tradition at Husson University that happens at the end of the semester. It's a one-day show highlighting the various works of art. It featured paintings, drawings, prints, digital media, graphic design, and more. And the students are not all art majors.
All Husson students take one fine arts credit as part of their general education and foundation in humanities. So some of these students, this is totally out of their wheelhouse, and others are in our graphic design program. But the show celebrates them all, and all students have something to share.
There was no overall theme. Different instructors and students selected the work they are most proud of.
Very neat.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Well, Keanu Reeves hits the road for a new series while a Lion King original story makes its journey to the big screen.
Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has that and more in today's Hollywood Nation.
A Lion's Legacy, Country's Party, and Keanu's Road Trip are in the Hollywood Nation. Keanu Reeves and Gard Hollinger, co-founders of Arch Motorcycle, are revved up for a new docu-series on the Roku channel. The Arch Project will follow the two on a quest to answer the question, where does human creativity and ingenuity come from? By exploring the stories of those whose ideas and achievements they admire. Somebody save me. The first round of performers rocking out at the Academy of Country Music Awards has been revealed. Taking the stage at Country Music's Party of the Year are Jelly Roll, Jason Aldean, Kane Brown, Cody Johnson, Miranda Lambert, Thomas Rhett, Chris Stapleton, and Lainey Wilson. The ACM Awards will be hosted by Reba McEntire and stream on Prime Video from Frisco, Texas, May 16th.
Mufasa.
Today's First Looks is a look back at how it all started for Simba's dad. Disney released the trailer for Mufasa, the Lion King, with Rafiki relaying the legend of Mufasa and how he became king of the Pride Lands. The origin story is directed by Barry Jenkins with music by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Its star voice cast includes Beyoncé and her daughter Blue Ivy Carter, Aaron Pierre, and Donald Glover. Mufasa the Lion King is in theaters December 20th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
All right.
Lion King for a new generation.
I know.
I'd love to see that.
No, I'm loyal to the other one.
Yeah, of course.
I get it, though.
Yeah. All right, one more check of forecast. I keep jumping all over you there.
It's okay. Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
What she said.
Yeah.
All righty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Need the proper fit for your new spring and summer footwear? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. Already, wave heights are low this morning. We have no advisories in effect offshore or onshore for that matter as well, so we're looking pretty good out there moving forward this morning. We did have some rain showers recently, and now we're starting to look a little quiet as all this is moving out of here. We'll be under a partly to mostly cloudy sky today, so keep the sunglasses handy, but otherwise looking like a quiet day nonetheless. But either way, though, as we do zoom things out and give you the bigger picture, overall not too bad. We're getting this wave of energy out of here. There's a little bit more activity across parts of the Midwest. We'll have our turn for more rain showers that will be on the way as we head towards later on tomorrow, and it'll be just rain showers. I'm not too worried about any thunderstorms at all. So a partly to mostly cloudy sky across the region for us today. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky coming up later on tonight. For tomorrow, clouds move in again, along with chances for rain showers that will begin at around 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning. It'll last for pretty much the entire day on and off. We'll have to wait until Thursday night for these rain showers to clear out of here, and then we're looking pretty good as we head towards your Friday to some clouds that'll be sticking around. Otherwise, though, let's talk about some rainfall totals. We could be seeing some spots this year around 4 to maybe 5/10 of an inch of rain before we're all finished up. Locally higher amounts cannot be ruled out either, but pretty much draw a line from Bangor and west. We'll have the better opportunities for rain, lower chances farther off towards the east. Our average high temperature is 61 degrees this time of the year. We'll do lower 60s today, so about average for this time of the year. Lower 50s Thursday, lower 60s again Friday. And as we head towards your Saturday, upper 50s Sunday. And then look at this, upper 60s as we head towards Monday to Tuesday. So warmer weather definitely on the way. So otherwise, though, let's be careful with allergies. If you're having issues with allergies, this is the reason why. Tree pollen remains high, and it looks to stay high for the foreseeable future. So definitely make sure to keep that in mind with your allergy medications. And grass pollen will soon be on the rise before you know it as well. So for today, we have lower 60s under a partly cloudy sky, and at east wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. At times, we may become mostly cloudy as well. By tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy, south wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, here we go. Lower 50s, mostly cloudy, rain showers on the way. South wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. All right, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Mostly cloudy on Friday, highest in the low 60s. Lower 60s again for your Saturday, under a mostly cloudy sky as well. More rain showers on Sunday, highs in the upper 50s.